Hey guys, today I want to talk to you about your kit lens. When I first started years ago, I started with an 18-55 and a 55-250 millimeter lens. I rarely use this. This pretty much stayed in my bag. But this 18-55 lived on my camera at all times pretty much. If I needed anything past a 55 millimeter focal length, I kind of just walked in on my subject and that was completely fine. But I really wanted to touch on the importance of this lens for beginning filmmakers because it's really a great lens to start with if you think about it. It has an array of focal lengths you can choose from. It's image stabilized and it teaches you how to use your camera really fast. Like with your f-stop, your shutter speed, your ISO, all that stuff. The first thing I really learned about this is about lenses that don't have a fixed aperture, and this one doesn't. Because when you go from 18 to 55 millimeters, the image gets darker. And that's because it's not fixed. It goes from a 3.5 to a 5.6, and that's a dramatic difference that you would have to deal with in post, and it's very annoying. I knew once I started upgrading lenses that I would want something with a fixed aperture. I just recently started using this lens again for the 18 millimeter focal length. Now to switch gears, even though this lens is really good, eventually you're going to want to upgrade from your kit lens to something a little better. So for anybody, for any brand, I believe that the next lens that you should get across the board is a 50 millimeter lens. Now with Canon, this is called the Nifty 50. I don't know if that's the same thing for other brands, but for us, this is the Nifty 50. This costs about $125. When I got this years ago, this was just, the image this produced was just leaps and bounds better than my kit lens. And I was just like, wow, I didn't know my camera could get such clear images, which was sad. Now though, this has a metal mount instead of just plastic, and the focus ring isn't on the tip anymore. It's kind of just built onto the lens, like right up in there. I wasn't even considering getting another 50 millimeter because this was fine. The only reason I have this 1.4 is because I got it for 90 bucks. Now, this lens is valued at $325. I would have been a fool not to get this when it was only $90. I found it at a bargain bin spot, and the only thing that was wrong with it was the box was beat to hell. So I bought it. As soon as I got home, I threw it on my C100, checked out the images, I threw it on my 5D, see what type of pictures it took, and it worked perfectly fine. So that's the only reason I have this. But had I not found this for 90 bucks, I would still just have this 1.8 and be perfectly fine with it because it's just a great lens for the price. That's pretty much all I wanted to touch on today. How great of a lens this is, the 50 millimeter on any brand of camera, not just Canon, and how important your kit lens really is, even though eventually you're going to upgrade. Like, don't smash your kit lens, please, because you never know when you might need it again. Because I haven't used this lens in 3 years, and now I'm using it again because I need this 18 millimeter focal length for certain shots. So yeah, that's my video for this week. Next week's video is, I don't know, but I'll make sure to come up with something good. Who knows? Maybe not any more lens stuff right away. I want to kind of throw those in there sparingly. But yeah, I will see you guys next week. And all right, I'm gonna get me some M&Ms because I like M&Ms. I like the ones with the peanut butter in them. Those are really good.